Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. Bitcoin currently moving up slightly. It has moved back above the 50-day moving average, but for me, this is not yet anything convincing. We don't have a confirmation yet that Bitcoin is continuing to climb upwards. Cardano and pretty much the whole crypto market currently being affected of the weakness of the Bitcoin price at the moment. It did go down yesterday. Quite substantially, nothing too crazy, but we see here some movement after a longer period here of price increases. So we talked about obviously this wave 4 in which we currently still are. In my view, the scenario is still that we've come down here, or that we're coming down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern to the downside, and that within this pattern, within a wave C, we are currently in a wave 4. In the wave 4, what we could have done here, and that is my primary expectation, we could have done here an A, B, C correction, and now we are coming down after the C wave completion and start the 5-wave move down. Okay, that is a possibility, but at the moment, the way the price develops at the moment, it doesn't really look like it at the moment yet. It's still moving sort of sideways, and I think we need to have a bit more patience. So that's one scenario that we've seen here, a 3-wave move, and we are now starting the wave 5 to the downside. The alternative is that we are actually seeing here a 5-wave move to the upside, which would be rather at least short-term bullish. We talked about it in the previous video. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In this scenario, the wave 5 would now have to come and would need to push the price to a higher high and at least above 46.5K. Okay, and in that scenario, then I think we're gonna see higher prices first before we come down into my target area down here. These higher prices, though, I don't think they would take us to new all-time highs. But even in this scenario where we've seen here a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC pattern, what you will need now is here, something like that, a wave 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, okay? So even in this scenario, you do now, or at a little bit of a later stage, you expect a move up, but the next wave up will, I guess, be, will let us know more. Is it a higher high or is it a lower high? If it's a lower high, then we can be more confident that this is the beginning of the wave 5, because you're coming down here. You are moving up, making not a higher high. If you make a higher, that's invalidated, but you can actually come all the way up to that. You can come all the way up to nearly 46K in that wave 2. And then basically a double top or even a triple top, what you had here already. Then you come down on wave 3, 4, and the 5 could take us into that region here between 20 and 28.7K that we have been talking about since since November. And this could even here form something like a head and shoulders. In the end, you probably can see it on the chart now, where you have the left shoulder here. This will be the head, and the right shoulder here, and it can take us down then. On the other hand, as a possible reversal pattern, and also here we talked about it in the previous video, what we have here is a left shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, a head, and this could become the right shoulder. And if that then breaks above 46.5, that could confirm a move up. But this is currently all still within this wave 4 scenario and nothing too crazy. Currently, while we're talking, actually, price is going down again. What we can see here on the chart actually is this descending wedge pattern. I better go into the 1-hour chart. We've got this descending wedge that we talked about earlier today already in the video. It seems like that Bitcoin broke out of it, but we don't see volume. You need, it's an essential requirement for a descending wedge to confirm a breakout. You need volume. If you don't need volume, what can happen? It just forms an extension of the pattern, so that you probably then get something like that, and you basically extend the pattern. You don't have the volume. Otherwise, what we would see is here possibly a move up, a retest, and to be fair, that can still happen. We can here now get a retest. Let me just show a retest, and then start to move up from here, possibly with volume. And currently for that, the support line would be 42K. So what it's looking currently like that we're coming down lower. I think we could now come down to 42K. That could then be the retest. If we fail the retest, we can fall further, of course. We've seen that before, that there was something here that, oftentimes that happens. You see fake outs. Some people go long, but get basically thrown out of the market because it's basically, playing the game, isn't it? People know that people will go long. The market makers know that people will go long here, and then they manipulate the price down, and it could push the price down lower. So this is, I think, what's playing out here. Not really the volume. If we had the volume, I think I'd be more confident that this could really take us higher. I would expect a bit of a move up here now anyway, and we've already seen here a little bit of a move up, but probably more because of this possible scenario that we've seen here, a wave 1 and a wave 2 now, which should push us higher, or even that wave 5 of the move up should push us higher as well. So we do expect here some sort of move up now anyway. And besides that, I think Bitcoin needs to stay in this range here. Bitcoin needs to hold at least the 41K level. That's pretty much here just the support of this trading area here, that you can see here. So it needs to hold that level. If it drops below that, I think we can then expect the 39K. That is the next support. Overall, if we draw a trend line here as well, this could become the next support. Should Bitcoin really drop lower here, it could take us nearly to a 39K, 39.5K. I leave that on the chart now. That could be an interesting support line. Should Bitcoin today, tomorrow, or whenever drop here to the downside. One reason why we might not see that required volume for that breakout of the descending wedge is just because we have the weekend. There is typically less volume in the market. Now, what is Cardano doing? Cardano is still holding here above this ascending trend line. You can see that here. We've got this ascending trend line here. Also, Cardano still in a descending channel here. What we possibly have forming here, it's a bit of an ugly one, but we could get here something like a head and shoulders that could, if that breaks, it could lead to lower prices, a breakout to the downside. I make that line in a different color. Actually see now, it also could become a descending wedge. So we need to see what is going to play out in a moment. So you can actually see that here. You see the orange line here. That is obviously a descending trend line, a descending support line. And we've got the possibility here that this is forming a head and shoulders. And if that line breaks, and the support for that is pretty much at 96 cents. If that breaks, I think you are going to unlock here prices all the way down to 50 cents. We did talk about that previously. On the other hand, it's pretty much looking like a descending wedge, isn't it? So you are in this channel, but within this channel, you might be forming here currently a descending wedge, and it's quite a large one. So that is looking interesting. Bear in mind, Cardano before the breakout to the upside back here, that was in June, July. I remember that because we talked about it back then before it actually happened. That was pretty much in the beginning of this channel here. It also formed a descending wedge. Okay, so this is something to remember. Just need to see if I can put on the chart here correctly. But yeah, you also had here a descending wedge, which then broke to the upside, and it did lead to this move up. Okay, so you have something possibly fairly similar now, and that's actually quite good news. So you can see that here. Okay, so that looks fairly similar to back then. Looks really interesting actually. Haven't seen it until just now. So yeah, I'll keep definitely an eye on that. That could be a potential breakout pattern to the upside. Not saying that the low is in. We always need to wait for confirmation. And at the moment, really, these are very difficult market conditions in which we currently are. Yeah, they really are, because you are sort of still in the downtrend, but it's a decision point at the moment if the downtrend continues or if there is a temporary reversal to the upside for Bitcoin. And then for Cardano, we need to see how the Cardano price develops, because also here for Cardano, two possibilities. Cardano could have already seen the absolute low. We did come all the way to my previous target area. Well, we broke it slightly to the downside. And now I put this alternative target area on the chart, which would be the next logical step. If we lose 92 cents, then you come into this area between 55 and 30 cents. But it did trigger the first target area. So theoretically, the low could also be in, and the breakout here to new all-time highs would be possible. Of course, it's possible that Cardano makes new all-time highs if Bitcoin, for example, just to show that, because the questions come up all the time. Of course, Bitcoin could go in this alternative scenario. I showed you that. In this sort of wave B scenario, if Bitcoin breaks above 60, one second, just need to make that here correctly. If Bitcoin breaks above 46.5, we have a whole huge target area that we could then reach, and this is all based on fib levels. So it could come all the way up to 65k. That would be a wave B. So you have your wave A down here, you have your wave B, and the wave C down then to the target area between 28.7 and 20k. But let's say Bitcoin makes it above 46.5k. It breaks above this level. It could move all the way up to this level, 65k. Now that would be from here a 42% increase. Now with that 42% increase, Cardano could obviously outperform Bitcoin. It has done that so many times before, and Cardano doesn't need to make a 40%. Cardano could then make, well, maybe even a 200%, maybe even more. In a crazy altcoin season, that might be possible, and Cardano could possibly, and even though it's maybe not realistic that much, but it could maybe even make the $5, and that is what I expect in the next wave up anyway. Because, and that is not anything that is made up, it's possible, because look at what Cardano did before. That was here in June, July, August. How Cardano, this is the ADA BTC chart, how ADA outperformed Bitcoin in that period, absolutely significantly. That's what ADA did. It didn't take long, or it only lasted basically a couple of weeks. But in this couple of weeks, Cardano can massively outperform Bitcoin. It did it before, so there is no reason why Cardano could already have seen the low, could go to new all-time highs, while Bitcoin is only making, basically also a new highs, but not new all-time highs, okay? And just watch the chart dropping quite a bit, 42.3 again. So it's basically doing already what I just told you, that I expect Bitcoin now to come down to around 42k, and maybe even lower if that descending wedge cannot be retested successfully. So we're just seeing that now, and you might already have a decision when I get when you watch the video here. So interesting day. At least the boring sideways movement seems to be over. We see a bit of movement, see a bit of volatility, which is important for the market because that keeps people interested. So hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin and Cardano. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, maybe consider to join as a channel member. You can do that on my website or on YouTube, and for that you can find the links in the description. I now started as well to issue trading alerts. That's very much in the beginning, so don't expect huge alerts yet, but I'm going to build on this. First alerts should be issued shortly on Discord. So this is obviously never financial advice. These are just trading alerts based on indicators and flashing signals, okay? But it has been requested heavily, and I'm happy to work on that to provide some more content, additional content on Discord. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.